So far, midweight.
All right, guys, Arnold Allen to the scale.
Arnold Allen up there. 15 years old. Against the scale. Get ready for this person.
145 and a half.
Arnold, I need you to get back up there.
145.
Get into this camera 5 seconds and this one is 5.
Oh, Monday.
Thank you, baby.
Fun fact is, they do his professional
That Chicago thing.
Oh no.
All right, guys, Chance Rencounter to the scale.
Chance Rencounter up next. Black Eagle.
170 and a half.
5 seconds chance for you. Hit this one 5.
Chance Rencounter. No opponent for this time.
Thank you, baby.
Best frame. First fight against short notice, second.
I know, it's like, oh, I shot something.
See you, sir.
All right, guys, Random Marcos to the scale.
Watch the camera, coach.
116.
Right here, Randall. 5 seconds. 5. Thank you, baby.
First race.
All right, guys, come to the scale. Jorge Masvidal.
Ben Askren.
Hold still, baby. Hit it.
170 and a half.
5 seconds. Straight ahead. Right here. 5. 4. Thank you, baby.
18.
What's he looking at? Like?
Finally got face to face with Ben Askren.
It's my brain.
He's never fought someone who's had more antibodies than Ben Askren wants to end his bloodline. That's what the fighting.
All right, guys, Thiago Santos.
He said Ben Askren up next day.
$204 and a half.
5. 4.
More chop.
I got you.
black one. Takes on John. Main event. Says he will be the man to do it. How many times have you heard that? And I can see up there. And Ashman already stripped down.
That guy's Ben Askren. From 71.
Ben, back on the scale.
Oh, I got a flex.
It's right here,
Hard
man.
to flex when you ain't got muscles.
Turn to my camera and we'll make it quick. That's not gonna get, okay, bye. Well, hey,
I'm done. That's 5 seconds.
What?
All you got.
We didn't get our camera. This is the ESPN. Drink your water if you need to. Give me my shot. Bye. Okay, man, go on. Bye. Okay.
He's ready to fight. Part of my he says,
Julia Avila to the
Cross
scale.
it. Here's the next time. You're not. Julia Avila. My favorite. Geologist. So hyped up.
135.
130.
Julia, 5 seconds. Ready to hit 35. Well, thank you.
Self-described Geo. Actually, if they're oil full-time job, and I asked
All right, guys. Edmund Shabazian to the scale.
her direct proposal was I was student first, fight second. Eventually, he takes up Zack Marshall. One of the more heated staring down yesterday. Laughed it off. Cheap out. What's that again?
$185.
5 seconds, that makes 5. 4.
Very confident that you're quote-unquote dominant. He's solely 15 minutes. So looking at his record, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 50 seconds. Tall tasker, Zack Marshall,
Gilbert Melendez to the scale.
Melendez.
Thank you, baby.
September 2017. Became a sports journalist for that. Not fighting. He's one of the UFC journalists. With a snapback. Last one, parts of 40, shopping back down 30. All smiles actually. See what
Tony Butter plus one, if you heard.
Turn it a little bit so you're seeing in the front. Thank you, thank you.
135. Hell check.
1/2 Mark Holman, right? Usually makes the weight of work at fighter championship weight.
Right here, champ. 5 seconds. 5.
Hell check.
Thank you, baby. Alejandro,
But I muted myself.
Alejandro Perez to the stage.
Alejandro Perez. He is so very hyped. Stretching, he's excited, he's ready to go. He's ready to
México
song
presente.
on the ESPN first fight.
never mind. Just kidding.
Alejandro, yes.
Hold still, baby.
35 and a half.
1,
5 seconds. 5, 4.
He was originally supposed to fight Song Yadong before his opponent fell out. In steps Cody Stamen. Now he finally gets the rematch. Well, not even the rematch. His fight against Song Yadong was rebooked. So number 14 ranked bantamweight Alejandro Perez makes weight ahead of his fight. And here we go, the man himself, John Bones Jones, the man made the greatest fighter of all time. All smiles as usual before he hits the scale. Let's see what the man has.
205.
205 for John Bones Jones. And just like that, we got ourselves a main event, ladies and gentlemen. John Bones Jones and Thiago Santos makes weight ahead of their light heavyweight title fight in the main event of UFC 239. Of course, John Jones posing, dancing, twerking, whatever you want to call it. He's ready to go, all smiles. I can't remember a time he hasn't made weight that easy. He's always been all smiles making weight, and people want him to jump up to heavyweight, and he can make 205 this easily. That's another argument. Zack Marshman up next. Very intense interview. Said he was pissed off, said it was effing ridiculous. He was an underdog, his head was amazing. But here we go, Zack Marshman. 185 for Welsh Zack Marshman, who said his last day in the Army is Friday. So Saturday, but for those of you who don't remember, he actually dipped out on the Army to have his last fight. Got reprimanded, got a formal warning. But now his time with the Army comes to an end. On Friday, he said he's ready. He's excited to show people can see when he's not worried about his day job or nothing. You know, Mike Case up next, welterweight, takes on Diego Sanchez. First fight of the main card.
170 and a half.
170 and a half for Michael the Maverick Chiesa, making his second fight at welterweight after submitting Carlos Condit at UFC 232. He previously competed at lightweight for a long time. Like he just said 1 year ago, while Anthony Perez missed weight by a pound and a half, declared he was done with lightweight forever. Now he's looked better than ever. He's making the jump up to welterweight. But now Song Yadong up next takes on Alejandro Perez. Alejandro's already made weight. Song Yadong up next.
And a half.
135 and a half for Song Yadong, who's on a 3-fight win streak. This is also his first fight in the United States. So, International Fight Week, indeed. This recently came off a decision win over Vince Morales in November 2018. But now he gets his fight against Alejandro Perez Uriah Faber, Team Alpha Male leader in tow. As I can see, Jan Blachowicz up next. We are flying through these early morning weigh-ins. So far, no one's missed weight. I know now that I've said that, everyone will miss weight. So I'm willing to bet Luke Rockhold doesn't miss weight. Jan Blachowicz's opponent. There was a little bit of jawing back and forth between Jan and Luke on the stage when they finally stared down. And I asked him what Luke said. He told me I had small feet. So whatever that means. Jan Blachowicz hits the scale. $205.5 for Jan Blachowicz. Takes on Luke Rockhold. The main card, his last fight, he saw his fourth wound should come to an end violently at the hands of Thiago Santos. And that fight, of course, we now discover was a number one contender fight. He looks to get back in the win column. And it's Luke Rockhold. But now, Ismail Nadirov takes on a chance from counter in a welterweight bout up next. See fight past prelim. Heard great things about this man. First, another U.S. debut for another fighter on International Fight Week card. 171 for Ismail. His last fight, short notice. One of the biggest underdogs on the card came in and starched his opponent. Now he's taking a pace with Luke Rockhold, fighting on massive cards. Against Chance Recounter. Finally has a full camp under his belt. He is hyped. I can see Marlon Chito Vera up next. Yeah, Marlon Vera up next. Already stripped down.
Oh, still, Chico. 36.
136. Was not pleased with Bob Bennett. Supposed to fight Sugar Sean O'Malley until Sugar Sean was pulled off the card. He hoped and hoped he would get another fight, and he has indeed against Nolene Hernandez. I recommend, if anyone hasn't seen it, Anatomy of a Fighter. Marlon said it was all good between him and Sugar Sean. It was just the fight business. If they meet, they meet. If they don't, they don't. He had nothing negative to say. And Sugar Sean actually gave him some advice. He goes, don't take medicine while running it by the UFC, Colin Jet Novinsky. So, Luke Rockhold up next. Takes on Jan Blachowicz in his light heavyweight debut after years of dominating the middleweight scene. 204.5 for Luke Rockhold. Doesn't really want to pose. Looking to get back into the win column after being knocked out by Yoel Romero at UFC 221 February 2018. Before that, his last fight, September 16th, 2017. Beat David Branch. Before that, he famously lost his middleweight crown to Michael Bisping. UFC 1-9, June 2016. So one fight a year for the last 3 years, but now hoping to find new life at light heavyweight. I made a note when we got to media day. This is the first time I've seen Luke Rockhold smile at media day. He wasn't sucked out. He looked happy. He was smiling. He was flexing. He looked like he wanted to talk, and proof is in the pudding. He's ready to go. It's like Jan Blachowicz, and he's already told our own Damon Martin. He's looking through Jan Blachowicz directly at John Jones. He was defeated his teammate and friend, coach, whatever you want to call him, Daniel Cormier. So we'll see. We're going to take a real short break. We have a little bit of a break. The only people we're waiting on are Holly Holm and Cloudy Gadelia, the only ones. So we'll be back in a minute. So they don't know what. So, yeah, AK Davis said they can't. You think I'm just talking too quietly? And we're back, folks. Seeing a lot of comments saying, Jose, speak up, but just trying to be polite to my fellow media members. I don't want to scream over everyone. We got a little bit of a break. For those asking, everyone has made weight. The only people we're waiting on are Claudia Gadelha. Oh. Claudia and Gadelha, the only ones left. Claudia and Gadelha. Claudia Gadelha and Holly Holm. For those of you asking me to speak up, we're golden. I just don't, just trying to be polite to my fellow media members. And I remember last time, UFC 238, I was told to speak softer, so you can't choose people. Diego is already waiting. We had a little bit of trouble with our stream, but we haven't recorded. He did make weight, for those asking. Might not have been on the stream, but Diego Sanchez, in typical Diego Sanchez fashion, at 9 o'clock, at 8:59, he was waiting at the door, basically stripped down. As soon as that clock hit 9, he walked out, stepped right on the scale, jumped on, so didn't give any warning, just came out, hopped on the scale, made weight, walked off. So we may have missed Diego Sanchez on the live stream, but we have it recorded for you fine folks. For those of you who haven't seen it or didn't hear me say it, I highly recommend you go watch the Diego Sanchez interview from UFC 239 Media Day we have up on our site and our YouTube page. I got him right away. He was very, very intense. Declared himself a Jedi. Said he was an anomaly of the sport. Declared he had discovered ancient anti-aging secrets and was bringing quote-unquote fire and lava to the octagon against Michael Chiesa. So what that means, I am very curious. But no, for those asking, Holly Holm is not waiting. We're waiting on Holly Holm and Claudia Gadelha. If you can hear me, let me know. Another thing Diego Sanchez told me was, and this is verbatim what he told me. He said, we live in a vast universe with much more than earth, air, wind, water, fire. There is the unseen. I've tapped into more. I am more. I was like, damn, Diego. Who's this guy talking for MMA Fighting? This is Jose Youngs. Pleased to meet you. You'll see our UFC 238. You can check out all the videos we shot with Casey Leiden, cameraman extraordinaire and the greatest photographer of all time, Esther Lynn from UFC 239 Media Day yesterday. We were on the scene for UFC Open Workouts. We'll be on the scene for UFC Hall of Fame. But you let me know, outside of the main event, which fight are you most looking forward to? I have a feeling I know what most of you are gonna say, but you let me know. Main event, co-main event, outside of those two, which fight are you most looking forward to? Jose, you're a G. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. I think you're the first person to ever say that. Luke Rockhold also had a very intense interview. said he was very much in favor of a potential 195-pound weight class. Asked him if it was anything Jan could bring to the table. Was he looking through Jan? He goes, I don't. I'm fighting Jan Blachowicz. What do I have to worry about? And his exact quote was, I don't care about anybody but myself. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check out that Luke Rockhold interview. He's one of the more intense, but more energetic interviews I've seen Luke Rockhold do. I can attribute that wholly to not having to cut down to 185. He's 205, 204 right now. And not cutting that extra 20 pounds has been loving life. He hasn't fought in a long time. He said he just wanted to fight. He's looking through Jan Blachowicz to fight John Jones. Got a little bit of a jong session up on the stage, and apparently he told Jan Blachowicz that he had small feet. So when I asked Jan what he said, he told me that. He goes, just wait till he feels my feet on his chin. What is happening now? We're just waiting on two fighters, Holm and Claudia Gadelha, the last two to weigh in. So you're stuck with me, folks. Let's see what we got in the comment section. Astrid again, eat that 3-piece. Diego did weigh in. He made weight. He sprinted out, hopped on the scale before anyone could get their streams up. Imagine if Askren finishes Masvidal with 3 pieces of soda. Man, wouldn't that be something? And Ben Askren's already declared himself the number one contender at welterweight for Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman's already said he'd be ready to return in November after going through a little surgery. If it's Ben Askren, it's Ben Askren. But you have Colby Covington fight Robbie Lawler on that Newark card coming up too. So you gotta imagine. I feel the one with the better performance will get that title shot. Ben Askren goes out there and earns a decision. Colby Covington goes out there and finishes Robbie Lawler. I'm not saying that's easy. I'm not saying that's possible. But he goes out there and subs Robbie Lawler in that main event in that Newark card. You'd be hard-pressed to argue that Colby Covington doesn't deserve that title shot, but we'll see. It's coming in late usually mean they was weight. That is a good question. Every state has their own rules. But they have plenty of time. Jose, why didn't you ask Greg Jackson about Diego? Well, I did a little bit. I had a feeling he didn't really want to talk about it. He said Diego Sanchez deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. But if I see him again, it was also at media day. We were being hurried out. I was tapped on the shoulder, told him to wrap it up. If I had more time, I would have loved to ask him. Just ran out of time, didn't know. Jose and Pizzi are good here on the A side. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Would love to have Pizzi Carroll back on the A side. And I know we will. Hashtag free Pizzi Carroll. Free from what? Free from what?
Thank you.
Get it?
Yep.
Yeah. Take me Mike out of Masvidal's back. Ask for sure would do the same. I mean, your logic is sound, but every fight is different. Masvidal said he's never fought someone who's had more animosity towards him. He wants to make Ben Askren piss blood. He wants to end the Askren bloodline. He wants to make so he'll never produce again. He's asked how he envisions the fight going. He said painfully and brutally. Asked Ben Askren if he felt the same thing towards Jorge Masvidal. He says, I don't hate Jorge Masvidal. That's unproductive and unhealthy to hate someone like that. Do I think Chael gets inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame? I don't think if, it's a matter of when. Why is Jeff Davitsky there? Well, he's the UFC. First the UFC, of course he's going to be here. Who's your favorite fighter? Oh, it's hard to say. I've always been a big Korean Zombie fan growing up. Let's see anybody else. We're going through the comments now. Any questions you want to ask? Shoot me. Jose, have you met the Samoa? I have. Super nice guy, super hardworking guy. Super sharply dressed man. One of the sharpest dressed men I've ever met. So. Are they going to shut down MMA fighting? No, we are not going anywhere. A lot of you have come up to me asking me that here in Las Vegas when I've seen you on the street, but no, we are not going anywhere. I smell a big upset in the main event. Wow, wouldn't that be something, Thiago Santos? At the open workout said he would be the man to defeat Jon Jones, but how many times have we heard that before? No man has ever solved the riddle of Jon Jones. Jon Jones, though, said he was weirdly not stressed. He wasn't worried about this fight. He wasn't overlooking Thiago, but he didn't really have those jittery feelings he gets before every fight. This is new, so whether that comes back to bite him, I don't know, but Jon Jones when that octagon door closed, has always been one of the highest, has some of the highest fight IQ I've ever seen in the game. I know he's going to come in ready to throw down, but I asked him directly, both him and Greg Jackson, how do you prepare for someone like Thiago Santos, who's so unpredictable, especially for a camp who prides themselves on building these master game plans around those fighters. And their quotes were, eventually the unpredictable becomes predictable. That's what Greg Jackson said. So if they see something we don't, and they can find holes in Thiago Santos' game, it could be a short night for him, because Jon Jones and Greg Jackson's are basically the Tim Duncan, Popovich, and Bill Belichick, Tom Brady of the MMA world. Who's it? I don't know exactly who's going to be there. I can find out. But the World MMA Awards were earlier this week, so I saw a lot of fighters. So there's a lot of people in town for these big extravaganza they're going to have. Jones missed weight? No one has missed weight yet. Who is talking? This is Jose Youngs of MMA Fighting. Pleased to meet you all. I've been around for a little bit. So far, the only people who have not weighed in are Holly Holm and Claudia Gadelha. Everyone else has made weight. Jose versus Habib, booked for UFC 243. No, thank you. I don't want to die. Here we go. I have the list. UFC press conference, seasonal press conference. Dana White, Max Holloway, Frankie Edgar, Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dustin Poirier. So there you have it. Today, before the weigh-ins, Dana White, Max Holloway, Frankie Edgar, Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dustin Poirier are all going to be there. Max and Frankie, of course, are fighting at UFC 240 in Edmonton for the featherweight crown. Daniel Cormier is rematching Stipe Miocic for the heavyweight crown in UFC 241. And Khabib Nurmagomedov and Dustin Poirier are fighting in a title unification bout UFC 242 in Abu Dhabi. So that will certainly be can't miss viewing. We will be on the scene for that. The Hall of Fame. Of course, the ceremony, and of course, fight night. So just stick around here at the MMA Fighting YouTube channel. For those asking, what are we waiting for? Holly Holm and Claudia Gadelha still have to weigh in. The only people left to weigh in are Claudia Gadelha and Holly Holm. We're just waiting on them. Jose, please talk about how Edmund Shabazian has nicer hair than you. Well, them's be fighting words. You talking to Alex Haley or what?
I was ready.
Jorge did make weight. Everyone has made weight so far. The only people we are waiting on are Claudia Gadelha and Holly. I believe Holly's next. Hearing some rumblings. Oh, Holly Holm is there, so Holly Holm is about to step on the scale.
Let's go, let's go. $133.5.
133.5 for Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm. We have ourselves a title fight, ladies and gentlemen. Holly Holm versus Amanda Nunez for the UFC Bantamweight Championship is official. No one has missed weight so far. The only one left is Claudia Gadelha. Holly Holm, of course, already shocked the world once against Ronda Rousey when she dethroned her back at UFC 193 in Australia and lost her title in her next fight to Miesha Tate at UFC 196. Came up short to Jermaine Durand and came up short to Valentina Shevchenko. Did have that violent head kick KO over Betchko Hea. Came up short to Chris Cyborg, but then ran through Megan Anderson. Now she looks to recapture her bantamweight title against Amanda Nunez. Amanda said that Holly is the last former champion. She has yet to fight, and she was looking forward to this challenge. Amanda Nunez is who many consider the greatest female fighter of all time. After her knockout wins over Ronda, her stoppage win over Miesha Tate, her violent KO over Chris Cyborg, which won the upset and knockout of the year at the World MMA Awards, and she walked away with a female fighter. So Amanda Nunez walking away with 3 trophies at the World MMA Awards. Jose, does John Jones still do the don't look at the other guy in the face? Well, he did it at the media day, but he did not do that at the LA media day last week. But he did indeed, when they stared off in media day, basically just turn around and look at the crowd, looking right past Thiago Santos. We have a lot of time left, folks. We have a lot of time left. The only one left is Claudia Gadelha. I think she has like an hour 15 to make weight, so we're good. Claudia Dela has not weighed in yet. She's the only one we are waiting on. So you guys tell me, folks, can Holly Holm pull off another massive win or another one? Like when she fought Ronda was the greatest female fighter of all time. Some people still consider her the greatest of all time for what she did. Her run through the women's bantamweight division has been unmatched. Amanda Nunez came and violently took away the belt from Miesha Tate and then dominated Ronda when they eventually fought at UFC 207. Ran through Raquel Pennington. So she's yet to break a sweat. I guess her fight against Valentina Shevchenko was very close. Valentina Shevchenko believes she won that fight. I believe her exact quote was, "Her nose is rose," after that fight in their last Edmonton fight card. Diego Sanchez weighed in first. He was the very first one. Those of you just joining us, everyone has weighed in. Everyone has made weight. We are only waiting on number 5 ranked strawweight Claudia Gadelha. She's the last one. But for this particular stream, as in typical Diego Sanchez fashion, he was standing at the door at 8:59. As soon as that clock hit 9 a.m., he ran out, hopped on the scale, made weight, flexed, screams, did his Diego Sanchez war cry, ran away. So I think it caught everyone off guard. Usually we have a, "Are you guys ready?" And then we roll. But not this time. Diego Sanchez was ready to rock right away. Did you know Cejudo has an Olympic gold medal? I think I heard that once or twice. What fight am I most excited? Jose, what fight are you most excited for on the prelims? It's a good question. I've always enjoyed watching Gilbert Melendez fight. He gave me one of the most pointed interviews at UFC 239 Media Day. He was very open about he contemplated retirement after his last fight. As Jeremy Stevens, he seriously debated walking away from the sport until he rediscovered his love for MMA. I told him, actually, in fact, that Arnold Allen had yet to even make his MMA debut when Gilbert Melendez finally jumped over to the UFC. Arnold Allen remembers watching Gilbert Melendez fight when he was 15, and now the two are slated to fight on one of the biggest cards of the year. And Gilbert Melendez laughed in my face when I told him that. He thought it was hilarious, but he's super excited to throw down, excited to get back in there. He wants to ride this wave of momentum that we discussed as we saw Andy Ruiz Jr. upset Anthony Joshua. We saw Henry Cejudo win. We saw Tony Ferguson win, Tatiana Suarez win. A lot of these Mexican-American fighters pulling off these big wins, and Gilbert Melendez wants to keep that train rolling. So he's very excited to be back there. So if I had to pick one, it'd probably be that one. And I tell you what, though, Zack Marshall really sold me on his fight against Edmund Shabazian. I know that's obviously a phenomenal fight. But if you haven't seen it, hop over to that Zack Marshall interview on our YouTube page. He was very fired up. He was livid that he was an underdog. He said, "That is effing ridiculous." And then when they stared down, the normally joyous, jovial Zack Marshall was very intense. He said, "Do you think I'm scared of you?" Edmund Shabazian says, "Keep your hands up, be ready on Saturday." So that fight, I hadn't marked as a phenomenal fight, but both of those guys sold me on that, especially Zack Marshall. He is ready to prove his doubters wrong. You guys tell me, outside on the prelims, what fight are you most looking forward to? Holm has weighed in. The only one we are waiting on is Claudia Gadelha. Every single fighter has made weight so far. We are just waiting on Claudia Gadelha. Yes, Holm did weigh in. Perez versus Yudong is an unbelievable fight. Jose, have you ever talked about Michael Case's mom? No, and I never will. I'll never talk about anybody's mom. That's rude. Jose, what weight would you fight at? Oh man, I don't know. Not the biggest guy. Melendez Allen, I'm seeing a lot of people saying they're excited for Gilbert Melendez versus Arnold Allen, and I can't, it's hard to argue, man, or woman. Arnold Allen is on this tear through the division. He's not even ranked yet. I asked him, I go, what does it have to get ranked? He goes, if I beat Gilbert Melendez, I should be in the top 15. And I asked him, I go, well, Israel Adesanya, for those of you who don't remember, when I interviewed him before his fight in Glendale, before he fought Martin Vittori, is Glendale, Arizona. He said, he's a fighter that lays out his path. I beat this guy, and if he had anything similar, he goes, nope, one fight at a time. One fight at a time. He beats Gilbert, it's top 15, and then he wants top 10, and then he wants top 5, and then he wants that title shot. So he's on the right path. It's a risky fight, 4 or 5 fight win streak versus fighting a guy that's lost 4 in a row, but Gilbert Melendez is one of those fighters that has a big enough name, big enough following. Former Strikeforce champ, a lot of people believe he defeated Anson Henderson. Very, very, very close fight up there in San Jose on that Fox card. Can I confirm John Jones was seen twerking on stage? 10 out of 10 can confirm he twerked off stage after he got off the scale. Claudia Gadelha is the only fighter left to weigh in. I need to write a paper today on 18th century American history. Any suggestions? Yes, the burning of the Gaspee in Rhode Island. Look it up. I want to hear about the Boston Tea Party being the first act of war against Britain. Do your research, people. Burning of the Gaspee. Who else needs to weigh in? Claudia Gadelha, only one. Everyone else has made weight. No fighters have missed weight yet. We are only waiting on Claudia Gadelha. Everyone has weighed in so far except for Claudia Gadelha, and everyone has made weight so far. Penny has weighed in. She made weight. Everyone has made weight. Claudia has a little over an hour. Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, question mark? Man, sign me up. I would love that fight. Francis Ngannou, one of the few fighters who can, I believe he's 1 inch shorter in terms of reach. I believe John Jones is 84.5 and Francis Ngannou is 83. But Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, sign me up. I am down for that heavyweight. I'll watch Francis Ngannou or John Jones fight anybody, but you throw those two guys inside an octagon, I am there. Is John Jones weighed in? Yes, everyone has weighed in except Claudia Gadelha, and everyone has made weight. What do I think about Andrew Jackson? The president? Clarify. It's on the $20 bill. Jose, how hot does Vegas feel right now? Well, I am from Arizona, so everything outside of Arizona is a cool spring afternoon in my eyes. Habib versus Donny, please. I'm right there with you. But I'm on record saying I don't believe that fight will ever happen because I'm very much in favor of reverse psychology. So if I say it will not happen, it will. And if I believe it will happen, it will never happen. Jose, did you feel the earthquake yesterday? I did not, actually, and that's actually a good question. It's a good segue into Julia Vila actually brought it up. If anyone hasn't checked out that interview, go check it out. She's a self-described geo-nerd. She was obviously excited to talk about her fight, big fight on a big card, debut and all that, but she was very, very animated and excited to talk about the earthquake and her love of geology. She actually went to school for geology. She works in an oil company. She said she will never leave that job, that world behind. So, self-described geo-nerd Julia Vila broke down the entire, the earthquake and what happened and where it took place and everything. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that interview on our YouTube channel, Julia Vila. It's very fascinating. Jose, have you ever considered career modeling? No. No one wants to take a pic. No one wants to look at my face. We're just waiting on Claudia Gadelha. That is the only fighter left to weigh in. The only fighter. Everyone has made weight. We are just waiting on Claudia Gadelha. What is going on? We're waiting on Claudia Gadelha to weigh in. Take a quick break. I'm going to fill my coffee mug. I will be right back, folks. Stick around here at the MMA Fighting UFC 239 official weigh-in live stream. back. Fresh Cup of Joe. 10 a.m. here in Las Vegas. So, you tell me, guys, what's your prediction for the main event and co-main event? I want round, I want winner, I want round, and I want method. I have my own predictions, but I'll save those for our preview show. Yes, the only fighter we're waiting on is Claudio Gadelha. Everyone else is weighed in and made weight. John Jones, round 3 TKO. Amanda Nunez, first round KO. Wow. Night of violence. People expecting a night of violence. Jorge Masvidal via diet soda and a skinless 3-piece. Well, that's a new one. Jones, decision. Nunez, TKO, second round. Askren via TKO. Ben Askren via TKO, huh? Seeing a lot of John Jones round 3 TKOs. And it seems pretty 50-50. Nunez and Holly. A lot of people saying Holly by decision. A lot of people saying Amanda by TKO. Last person, we were just waiting on Claudio Gadelha. We were just waiting on Claudio Gadelha. Everyone else was waiting and made weight. Jones by armbar, that would be something, wouldn't it? John Jones gets Santos in a headlock and noogies him into submission. Wow, wouldn't that be something? John Jones, round 2 TKO, strikes. Nunez, round 2 TKO, punches. Holly by TKO, head kick, round 3. Seeing a lot of TKOs here. I'm sure Dana White would love that. How about Rockhold versus Jan Blachowicz? A fight a lot of people might be overlooking just because of the top 3, but it's a very important fight for both men. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on Jan Blachowicz versus Luke Rockhold. Luke Rockhold, of course, the face of Polo's cologne, aftershave, whatever you want to call it. Looking to get back in the saloon column after his KO punch at the hands of Yoel Romero, UFC 221. That was their inter middleweight championship. Romero actually missed weight by 2.7 pounds. So he was uneligible to win the interim championship. He, of course, then went on to fight Robert Whittaker again at UFC 228. Missed weight by 0.2, so he was again ineligible to win the middleweight crown. And one of the more violent back and forth fights I've ever seen. Robert Whittaker came out the victor. Has yet to fight since. I'm seeing some rumblings. I'm seeing some rumblings of cameramen, so we might have life backstage. Claudio Gadelha might be here, I'm not sure. But a whole bunch of cameramen just walked out and sat down. But now I am seeing no one. Luke Rockhold goes to sleep. I'm seeing a lot of people picking Jan Blachowicz to win this fight. And we're getting some movement backstage, trying to see what's what. Looks like Claudia's here. The door is wide open. And she's here, Claudio Gadelha, the last fighter to hit the scale here at the UFC 239 official weigh-ins here. Takes on Randa Marcos. $115 for Claudia Gadelia. And there you have it, folks. Every fighter has made weight. Every single fighter has made weight here at UFC 239 official weigh-ins. I hope you enjoyed your time here at MMA Fighting's YouTube page. I am, of course, Jose Youngs, your Sherpa through this mountain we call mixed martial arts here in Las Vegas. We climbed the mountain and we made it, folks. Why I'm making these mountain references is beyond me, but maybe this becomes a thing. See you on the other side, folks. We got the Hall of Fame ceremony later today. We got the big press conference. We got the ceremonial weigh-ins. We got a jam-packed day. So see you guys all later.